Diageo is an umbrella company that owns several different brands who are all specialized in alcoholic beverages. These brands, we can divide them in three different categories. This is because each of these categories are all focused on a different segment of the market. So we have beer companies, we have spirit companies, and we have wine companies. Within, for example, the beer companies, we can make another segmentation that one brand focuses on a certain group of income, and another beer brand focuses more on women, for example. And we have all these kinds of segmentation where we can divide a company with, and this is really important. So Diageo in its current form exists since 1997. Of course, the most brands we own already exist for a longer period of time. So is our oldest brand Guinness Beer. Guinness Beer was established in 1759 by Arthur Guinness in Dublin. At that time he bought an unused brewery, which he bought just for $100, without knowing, of course, that this would grow out to one of the largest beer producers in the world. In 1934, the company MRMA was created. This is an abbreviation for Mount Royal Metropolitan Association. This company holds several hotels and catering business just in the UK. So in 1962, MRMA changed its name to Grand Metropolitan Hotel, and in 1972 it started to buy up its first spirit companies. They bought some breweries and other spirit companies. In 1997, Grand Metropolitan Hotel and Guinness merged, and so because of this, Diageo was created. And well, they continued to buy up other brands, and in 2000 a really important decision was made, because they made a decision to sold all their food companies. So they had, for example, Burger King, and they sold this to be able to focus only on alcoholic beverages companies. So to summarize, Diageo went from owning one brewery in Dublin to a very large multinational. At this moment we hold offices in 80 different countries, and also we trade in around 180 different countries. Our headquarters are situated in London, and what is more important to tell, our CEO at the moment is Ivan Menezes. He has this position in 2012, and before this he was the CEO of our geographic area of North America. So the question is what brands we have. Well, we have a lot of brands which you probably will know. A lot of them are premium brands, which means that they are the best-selling brand in that category in the world. For example, we have Johnnie Walker, which is a Scotch whiskey. We also have Grand Royal, which is #1 in Canadian whiskey. Then in Asia, for example, we have Windsor, which is in Asia the best sold whiskey area. And above all these whiskies, we own brands like rum, Captain Morgan, Smirnoff Ice, Keto One Vodka, Bailey's Liquor, and of course, in the category of beers, we own Guinness Stout beers. So these brands I just talked about, like Johnnie Walker, Captain Morgan, these are our so-called strategic brands. This means that they are the cash cows of the company, which means they bring in the most money. And this, in practice, this means that they need the least attention in forms of marketing or positioning. They already have a really good name, and the consumers, they buy this product regularly. Consumer behavior is really constant. Yes. So the question was, how does Diageo divide its potential market? Well, the first thing we use is geographic segmentation. You have to understand that we are a multinational company with companies all over the world. So it's very important to first divide it in geographic areas, because these geographic areas often have the most similarities. among countries there's a lot of cultural differences, a lot of own customs that countries have. A beer or a wine that is known in one country is not in particular also known in another country. So this is very important. So we have 5 regions. The first region is Northern America. The second one is Western Europe. Then we have Africa, Eastern Europe and Turkey. This is one area. Then we have the Asia and the Pacific. Then there's Latin America and the Caribbean. And you have to understand that all these regions have their own hierarchical structure. So we have a global management system. At the top we have a global executive committee and a global board of directors. The head of the global executive committee is the CEO, Ivan Menezes, but also every region has its own CEO, his own executive committee. And this is really important to be able to manage everything. Yes, there are a lot of different reasons that separate a market. If you pick one country, the whole country can be a market. But not everyone is using the same products, not everyone drinks the same. So we have to make different segments. And we try to make a product as personal as possible, so there is something for everyone. That's why we also have a big variety of brands. You have differences in age, you have differences in income, you have differences in activities. Some people have office jobs, some people have physical jobs. There are men, there are women. There's all kinds of these segments. And we want, for example, we want to reach a person that owns $50,000 a month. But we also want to reach a person who only owns $1,500 a month. And that's why we do a lot of research, a lot of marketing research. And in this example we discovered, which seems quite logical, but anyway, that a person with a high income is more likely to buy an expensive whiskey, and a person with a lower income is more likely to spend its money on beer. And so you would see that, for example, our Boulet Bourbon whiskey is sold in the Hilton Hotel in New York, but not in downtown Harlem. So it does not only have an influence on the marketing and the marketing strategy, but also it has its influence on how we distribute, in which places do we sell. So there is as well gender segmentation. A clear example of this, we have 2 brands that focus really on one of the gender groups. For example, we have Bailey's Liquor and Guinness Beer. Bailey's Liquor is really focused on women, and then women in the age of 20 till 40. And it really wants to give women an image of being sexy, of being gorgeous, of being energetic. And on the other hand, you have Guinness Beer, and Guinness Beer is really pitched onto the man and then the sportive man. For example, we also sponsor in Ireland, we sponsor the rugby league there with Guinness Beer. And so it really wants to give the example to that you go to your practice, you go to your game of the rugby, and then after that you and your teammates are going to have this drink. So we really advertise to the group that suits the drink. But it can also happen the other way around. For example, when a brand has a really negative image or a boring image, then we can change the image of the brand by using other advertisements or positioning the brand differently. So, social responsibility. Yes, that is really important for a company. Of course, every brand in the food or drinks industry has this social responsibility, and it's really important for them. But for a company who mainly owns brands that sell alcohol-containing drinks, this is even more important. This is because alcohol can be really harmful to yourself. Not only to yourself, but also to the people around you. And we all know the side effects of alcohol. We know that if you have evening and you drink too much, that you can have a hangover the next day. You can have headaches, you can have severe stomach aches. So when you drink too much on a regular basis, this can even have more bad effects. You can get liver damage, you can get severe memory loss, you can even develop an alcohol addiction. And we really want to make clear that our products are meant to celebrate, but that you have to behave in a responsible way, that you shouldn't drink too much. And we think it's our duty to campaign this and to make this clear, to send out this message, and not just once, but several times. So I understand that this can seem a little contradicting, that on the one hand, of course you want to make profit, and that we also say, yes, but you have to be responsible. But just to make sure I'm clear, we are not saying people have to drink more. We say they have to drink better. Our products are from a very good quality. They, like next to the alcohol, they consist of very good ingredients. Our wines, they don't have sulfites in them, for example, which a lot of other wines do have. And these sulfites can give you a really bad headache. When drinks are produced in a cheaper way, you can sell them for less money, of course, but it's also not good for your health. And we say, yes, you can celebrate, you can drink something that's not always very healthy for you, but drink the things that are good and the drinks that are maybe a little bit more expensive, but they won't harm you so much. So yes, this is really what we want to say to our consumers. And so drink a lot, enjoy, but be careful and don't drink too much.